Hello. Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to two weirdos in a Volkswagen Touareg.
Touareg? It's a Tiguan.
Volkswagen car. Yeah, there you go. Good introduction.
The Volkswagen Tiguan.
Tiguan, yes. Welcome everyone to our first video on this channel, the Corby Builds channel. I am Callum Reed, CL Studios on YouTube, and see Reed Photography on Instagram, probably. That's
good when you don't know your own business name.
It'll be in the description and links everywhere.
Yeah,
and in the driving seat is literally and metaphorically.
Yeah,
Andy
Builds.
Yeah, Andy Corby Builds.
Yeah, so I am Andrew, but obviously I'm going by Corby Builds because that's the name, and also thought it looked a lot better than Andrew Builds. But I mean, Callum, if you want to tell them what we're going to do today.
So today, this is the start of a long project, isn't it?
Yes, we don't have a time frame actually set for the project, but it's just one that's going to be ongoing. We're going to pick up other cars hopefully and work on them as actual rebuilds or sorting stuff out, but this is like an ongoing project that we want to work on. Yes,
we are on our way to a undisclosed location.
Well, it's Warsaw.
It's Warsaw, yeah. It's still undisclosed. In the West Midlands, Warsaw, such a lovely place. To go and have a look at a Citroen C1. That is the plan. We're going to go there, have a look at a Citroen C1, decide if it's good enough. I mean, by the looks of it on the Auto Trader app that we've been looking at, and the advert on it, it looks all right. It's
got some body work, but body work isn't something we're that worried about.
No, because
as long as mechanically it's fine.
Yeah. Does it drive? Is the important question. Does it go forward? Does it go backwards? And does it steer?
We can sort of get into good positions in a race if it don't move, oh yeah.
I don't know. Look at Haas. 5 lights and away the engine goes.
The car we're going to see, it was listed for £1,599, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
I think it's a red Citroen C1. He said like the price is lower than average because it's obviously the body work. It's not that much, but like we said, we don't care about that much, as long as there's no like proper dents in the door and stuff.
Yeah.
Because obviously with the racing, they don't want smashed up cars before the race because obviously safety concerns and stuff. But no, we've got the racing series we're actually going to be going into is the Nankang City Car Championship.
Yes.
Because we were looking for a race series really that's easy to enter, because obviously race cars are quite expensive.
Yes,
but this one we're looking at about 5-6k, aren't we, for the full build, if everything goes well, and that's not including other parts that we have to buy that aren't race spec, and
also not including getting our racing licenses, gear for ourselves. I mean, then again, you've already got racing shoes, so
yeah, and gloves.
You're 10% of the way there, and gloves, you're 10% of the way there. Just need to get the fireproofs and the fireproof underwear and all that.
Yep.
And helmet. It's looking to be a very fun and exciting journey, and I'm going to also be recording it on the way.
Main problem is we're having to buy. We could have bought a cheap car that needs work, but the problem is we need something with an MOT and everything.
Yeah.
Because we've not got a unit to work in at the moment, and it's going to be stored on the road, so we're going to need insurance, tax, all that for it, because we can't like sawn it and just put it in a garage and work on it whenever. We're looking into that, but obviously we've got to see how the YouTube goes first.
Yes.
To see if we want to warrant spending that money on a unit, because being in Birmingham, they are quite expensive.
Yeah, mostly because people want to cover their asses in case stuff gets.
Yeah. And a lot of them don't want car breakers around Birmingham because residential areas make a lot of noise, and also they're just stripping cars and they don't actually care about noise pollution and that.
Meanwhile, we're obviously, we are going to be taking the car apart, but I think the other thing of having it road legal is for the meantime, whilst we don't have a trailer, we'll want it to be as road legal as possible. Whilst we can still make it as race ready as possible, because we want to be taking it to track days as well, just to make sure what we're doing, basically using the track days as testing.
Yeah.
Make sure the work we're doing is as per
as per air standards. We can't say
what
the
are
proper standards,
no,
because that's not going to be it. You're going to come to know that pretty quickly on this channel. It's bodge jobs are our best friend.
Yeah.
The only flaws really to the fact that we don't have a unit is obviously when you see people take cars apart and then they can leave them for a day, come back and carry on with that job. We're not really in a situation to do that, so I imagine the first things you're going to see on the Citroen C1, obviously in this video we'll probably do a full walk around, just show what we bought and stuff. We may showcase the towing car that we bought. That doesn't have a tow bar or anything yet because I've only owned it a week, but it is going to have a tow bar and trailer fitted obviously when we get into the proper racing season. But yeah, we can't exactly take the car apart and then leave it because it's going to be on the road, so we really want it to wheels, stuff like that, where we can do it in a day's work. And if we run into problems, that's where it's going to get difficult, because we're going to have to start leaving the car on the side of the road with the two wheels off, no brakes, anything, and the police comes past, they're like, "Yeah, looks road legal that, mate."
It's not the police that I'm going to be worried about, you know, scrapping.
Oh yeah, there's a piece of scrap.
No, yeah, we'll take that.
No, that's just Andy's new project. I think it will be a very good journey.
Oh yes.
This is the start of a very good journey. I mean, we're both passionate about cars. We don't have that much experience, but it's...
Well, I've got no mechanical experience really.
No, I did 2 years in college, but it's one of those, you don't really learn how to work on a car. It's when you actually get your own car and you sit down with a mate and you work on it for days on end. That's when you really get the proper mechanic side of it. We're about 20 minutes away from the place now on a sat nav, but we're currently sat in traffic, which is not a unusual sign in Birmingham or coming up to the M6.
One of the worst junctions in the country for traffic.
I think we're going to go to just a little montage of us driving to the thing. So we'll see you guys when we're actually at the car place. I thought that was pretty decent. And that is the place.
Well, okay, you're gonna have to work with. Where is the Citroen C1 numbers?
I think that's the place.
Is it that one?
I don't know. Do we just go in there? We're currently here. So this is a Citroen C1. So we've got lacquer peel on the bonnet. All lights are working. Just got all that. All the lights on the back are working. Got a bit of lacquer peel towards the back. Lacquer peel on the roof, but like we said, we're not that bothered about paint work. Callum's just going to see how it starts. So if you get in the car, I'll run round to the side, start it up. Sounds like it's rattling a lot. But underneath, I think that back box may have a hole in it. But back boxes are cheap.
It sounds like it.
Raspy.
Yes.
I think
it's sporty. It's a sporty.
it's a sporty. It's a race car. Did you make sure all the electrics work and stuff?
Rear fogs only.
Yeah. Hazards.
Hazards are on, but just get a bulb on there.
You put them back in.
Oh.
That's, if that falls out, that's going to be a new one of those.
That's the number plate lights, isn't it? Light housing.
Still attached by the cables. The interior's like immaculate. So parcel shelf as well.
Yeah, the interior's alright.
So all of this can be sold really because we're stripping it. Make our money back. Obviously it says 2195 there, but that's not what it was listed for online. So I'm going for the listing online.
Yeah. And
Everything works though.
Everything works. There's lots of minor.
But there's nothing major like the gearbox. If
Problems,
it's engaging gear, it's not a gearbox problem. If anything, if it's
It's
engaging
probably
gear,
just the shifter cable.
you're not struggling to find it. Maybe a problem with the shifter cable, but I think that's just job hub and cable. I mean, it may just need tightening. Some of them go loose, which would mean like why when you put it in gear.
Like, I can get in here, yes, but
Yeah, like
that's it's just the.
so. Like when you put it in gear like that. If it's feeling loose, if we tighten that up, that may actually just engage the gears properly. I mean, like you said, it's getting the gears. I think what it is he's going to drive it on a test drive now. We just have to go let the guy know.
Yeah.
And then we will come back to you guys with what we're actually doing with the car. So for now, I will just stand around and I'll let Callum go for the test drive. And hopefully you don't die. So just heading over to Callum now. He's just come back in off the test drive. See if that gear shifter is actually any better when you actually drive it.
Yeah. So steering's vague.
Yeah.
In the same position, so I'm going around doing this, and the car's just weaving about a little bit. Brakes are rubbing a lot.
Yeah.
Under harsh braking. Soft braking's fine, but harsher braking's rubbing a lot. It does get up to speed though.
Well, that's brake pads and stuff. Brake pads aren't that expensive.
No, they're not expensive. I mean, we're not
bit of work,
trying to buy the world's most perfect car here. We're trying to buy something good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely second hand. But
second hand feels like fifth hand.
Oh, it's got 4 previous owners.
So
yeah.
And yeah, and obviously the shifter, I can find gears, but it's just, I'll put it this way, I wouldn't take it onto a motor. Right, this will be the first time I've done a negotiation, so.
Yeah, so we've looked, it says £2,195. Online, it says £1,595. So if it's that price, we're going to try and have a little bit of a wiggle room, get down to 1,500, I reckon.
It's just the way it drives.
Yeah, I mean, it drives, it gets home, we can put it on axle stands, we can have a look. That's something we should check.
What?
Hold my phone. I'm recording. I'm going to check the sills, because obviously if we're going to have this car up in the air a lot.
Yes, that is a good point actually.
Sills. Looks solid.
I was like, apart from the obvious paintwork and bodywork problem,
they're not rusted though. That's
no.
What you always get. Sat back in a Tiguan. Callum's gone in because online it said 2,195. On Auto Trader it said 1,595. So I said to Callum, we'll take it because it needs work. If you can get down to 1,500, if they go down to 1,500, we'll take it. If it's a little bit 1,595, we just need a little more time to think on it. But I think if we can reach that price, we may be coming away with a C1 because the work it needs doesn't look that bad and it is quite a lot cheaper than any of the other ones. And also being a VT, the interior, we will be able to make a bit of our money back on it. So whenever you buy a car, it's a gamble, but hopefully it's a good gamble we're making.
Hold out your hand.
Hold out your hand.
1,500 quid, yeah, that's best. I just said, what's the flexibility? Went, best we can do is 1,500.
We're going to buy a Citroen C1, boys.
He said that the brakes are up because the car's been sitting around for a long time, so it's all rusted up.
So it's rusted up. The salesperson told you the brakes were rusted. Safe, boys. Let's go.
That's what he says.
Let's just take it straight to the track.
Fit for service, mate.
Right. Let's go and do all the boring stuff and paying for a car. We bought ourselves a Citroen C1, mate. Hold out your hand.
Hold out your hand.
We've bought a car.
Now that's gonna be fun.
Come here.
Help
We've just made a financial mistake. You ever wondered what a typical C1 driver looks like? We found the Citroen C1 in question and we've just done all the paperwork for the car. It's just in that car, sorting out all the insurance, tax, everything to drive it back, and we'll be driving it back to the house and then hopefully, I mean, sort the brake pads, check the gear shifter, stuff like that, and then go from there, see what else is a problem when we actually get up in the air later on.